So what do you think of that? It's alright. Welcome to What Do I Think of That? Groovy, baby, yeah! Today we're doing Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery. This film came out in 1997, so I would have been 7 years old. And I'm pretty sure I watched it about that time as well. As for the film, I thought it was a great film personally. Going back and watching it again, I think it still holds up as a classic comedy, personally. The fact that Mike Myers plays both roles of Austin Powers and Dr. Evil was ingenious. I don't think I cottoned on to that when I was a kid, back in the day, that it was one actor playing two roles. Fun little fact for you, they wanted Jim Carrey to play Dr. Evil originally, but he was doing Liar Liar at the time, so conflict of interest, hence the reason Mike Myers took on two roles. Like I said, all the cast, amazing, I think, personally. I do like the dynamics, something like that, word. It starts off in the 60s, he gets frozen, comes back, and boom, we're in the 90s, and it's all a bit chaotic, and he doesn't know what's quite going on. And the little jokes like, you know, wow, one sweetest penis enlarger, it's not mine. Like I said, plenty of classic little jokes in there. It definitely was a film that I really enjoyed. Like I said, I like to ramble on these. One day I'll get better, one day I might not, who knows. As for all the innuendos, all the little jokes, as the 7-year-old kid, I didn't quite get it. Should I have been watching it at 7? Probably not, but did I enjoy it? Yes. Will Ferrell? Will Ferrell, yeah, I get the name right correctly. I had no idea he was in the film until years later, when I was like, oh, this actor's quite good, and you know, this and that, Anchorman, and that's just one example, Alf, etc. You get the point. I didn't realise that was like one of his first type film roles at the time, so that was a nice little inclusion. The rockets and ships. Last time, like I said, if you watch the Back to the Future one, I did the whole trilogy. I'm cutting down to just doing one film, because if I did the whole trilogy, I end up rambling on about everything. So, where do we start from? Austin has an assassination attempt on his life by Dr. Evil in the 60s. He manages to escape in a rocket and flies up into space, freezing himself. And everything goes by, and they think, well, maybe one day Dr. Evil might come back. So they freeze Austin. Austin is then in cryo-freeze until one day Dr. Evil returns. And they have to bring back Austin Powers. So they do. So it's been 30 years since Dr. Evil's been gone, and he's gonna hold the world ransom for $1 million. Everyone laughs in his face until he learns that inflation happens and it turns into $1 billion. Doo-doo-doo. It's great. So loads of little in jokes of how the world's changed and things. Number 2 I thought was a great character as his second-hand man. So they're going to make the volcano erupt, and all this by drilling a massive drill into there. Great little bit. His female sidekick, Vanessa Kensington, she was great in the role. Don't ask me what the actress's name is, because it's gone straight out of my head like usual. But yeah, she turns out to be something else in the following film, but we'll leave it to that. Like I said, if you do enjoy these, maybe I'll review the next film at some point, and we'll go from there. And hopefully I got a lot better at reviewing. The addition of his son, Scott, was great. He's that arrogant little teenage brat, basically, who doesn't want to do what daddy wants to do and things like that. So that's a great little thing. And it's basically the little tropes on James Bond where the bad guy just goes, yes, he will die. It's like, well, don't you want to watch to make sure he dies? It's like, nah, we just close the doors. I'm sure he dies. Like, well, I've got a gun, we could shoot him now. It's like, no, that's not how it works. But yeah, all in all, brilliant film. So if you never watched Austin Powers, I highly recommend it. You might not understand it, as in the jokes, but it's very, for the time period, it's brilliant. So Austin Powers, I will give a definite solid 8.5 out of 10 Austin Powers. Until the next one.